Sometimes problems just happen, and today was one of those times. After a morning of rehearsals that went perfectly smooth and equipment that was working great, 3 minutes into our service, one of our cameras just locked up and would not come back on. Let's take a look at the comms and see how we handled it and if we could have done anything better.
1's live. 4, I lost your signal. And 3's live. And we're going to 2. 2's live. 4, are you good?
No, it's frozen.
Is your camera itself on?
Yeah.
Is your monitor on?
Yeah.
Turn off the power to your belt pack and turn it back on. Alright, 4, I've just got a black screen now. Try to turn off your camera and turn it back on as well.
Yeah, I turned both on and both off. Off and on.
What are you seeing right now?
It says Lumix on the camera.
Coming to 2's live. Check the cables on the side of the monitor.
Okay.
1's live. Just unplug those and plug them back in. And 2's live.
It's frozen. It just says Lumix. That's all it's saying when I turn it off and on.
It's saying what? Sorry?
Lumix. Lumix.
Okay. And 1's live. Check your dial on the top. Is it set on C1? 3.
Yeah.
3's live. And 2's live. Come back here with your camera.
What was that?
Come back here. I just took out the battery and put it back in. I don't know. That was weird. Sorry. Alright, 4, I've got your signal. 3's live.
Man, what a stressful morning. All in all, this whole process only took about 3 minutes, which was awesome. A couple of things to note. I know the camera gear well enough that I was able to troubleshoot without ever leaving my position at the back of the room. Ideally, all of your volunteers also know the camera gear that well that they can troubleshoot on their own without you needing to step in. But realistically, if your volunteers are only serving once or twice a month, that may not be possible. They're simply not getting enough hands-on time with the gear, which is why it's important for us as the leaders to make sure that we know the gear super well and we can communicate that down to our team. This does show a place for growth for me though in my leadership, because I would like my volunteers to actually know how to troubleshoot these things on their cameras and feel like they have the agency to do so. Another thing to note is that even while we were troubleshooting this, I didn't sacrifice the quality of the stream in order to help fix this camera. At the end of the day, what viewers are seeing at home is more important than getting this fourth camera back up and working. So I still made sure that I was calling shots and directing more often than I was communicating with camera 4, because that was the priority in the moment. I knew that even if we didn't get that camera back up and running, our stream would still be okay and we would still make it through the day. One more takeaway that I have personally is that I would love to have another person there on a Sunday morning who can be a runner of sorts, where they could run up to the stage and actually help out in the moment. Granted, sometimes I barely have enough volunteers to actually man all of the cameras, so that's kind of a pipe dream at this point, but it's something to hope for in the future. And maybe if you have an excess of volunteers, that's something that you could implement now. It's not something that's going to be needed every single week, but when it's needed, it's going to be extremely helpful. Look, problems are going to happen and there's nothing we can do to completely stop that. We can obviously put systems in place to prevent them as much as possible. And when they crop up, we can deal with them. But the most important thing is that the word of God is preached and that people are able to draw near to the throne in worship and through the sermon. And as long as we're supporting that, we're doing our jobs. So yeah, it was a stressful Sunday, but hey, it's just another week. Leave a comment below with one of the most stressful things that's happened to you during a live service, and we can laugh about it together, once the pain is past. But until next time.